Hey guys, and welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. We hope you choose to subscribe by the end of this vlog. For those of you that have been following us for a while, you're looking at the background and wondering, where is she? So we're not in our RV, obviously, so it's not necessarily tiny cooking, although it can translate into RV cooking just fine, because what I'm making now is going to be stovetop, and you can do that on a gas grill, on an electric grill, on an induction top, whatever you want. But what we're making today is a cauliflower pork fried rice. So keto or low carb, or even just healthy if you want an alternate to having white rice as fried rice for your fried rice. It's going to taste just as good, I promise you. Let's get to cooking. Let's go over our ingredients. So obviously, since it's pork fried rice, we need some pork. This is some leftover pork chops I have, and I'm just going to chop them up into little chunks and season them. Can't be a keto fried rice if it's not done with cauliflower rice. So we have our cauliflowered rice. And then we have our coconut oil, our soy sauce, and some bean sprouts. I usually go with fresh bean sprouts, but this is a quick and easy recipe. We have some onions and garlic, some eggs that we're going to scramble, green onions, and then the seasonings that I will be seasoning the pork chop and even the rice with is onion powder, garlic powder, and pink salt. So now that we went over all of the ingredients, first thing I want to do is cut my pork chops into little cubes. You can do this with a fork and knife. I honestly love using shears for cutting all sorts of meats. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to cut the meat off the bone and then cut it into tiny cubes. If you like big bites, go for making big chunks. Lou prefers little tiny bites, and that's usually the way the pork fried rice is anyways, right? With little tiny bites. So that's what I'm going for, is little tiny cubes. Now that we've got all of the pork chopped, I have here the fat and the bones to throw away. So you can make this as lean or as fatty as you want. I did leave a couple little pieces of fat because we particularly like it and want that extra rendered fat in our pork fried rice, but I don't want as much as was in here. So now the next step is basically seasoning this, and I'm going to have one clean hand, I already washed them, to touch my bottles that are already open, and then one dirty hand to flip it around and make sure it's completely coated. And you should do this to taste. So if you want to go light on the salt or if you want to go heavy on the salt, that's entirely up to you. Because this is an Asian dish, fried rice, and it's going to have soy sauce, this is already plenty salty, so I'm not going to use a lot of salt. I am going to use a lot of onion and a lot of garlic, just because we really love those flavors. Let's talk about this meat for a moment. I don't want you to feel like all you can make is pork fried rice. This is so versatile. We've made chicken fried rice, we've made shrimp fried rice, which is Lou's favorite, ham fried rice. If you buy the little cubed hams, or even if you buy a ham steak, or if you have leftover ham, chop it into cubes. She particularly likes when it's ham and shrimp mixed together. Mwah, delicious. But anyways, just want you to know that you can make it however you want, the exact same way. Choose your meat preference. Do you want it to be vegetarian? Use tofu. Sure, why not? It's gonna pick up all the flavors anyways. So now that we're done with our meat, and whatever meat it is that you're going to use, let's get started with the rest of this process. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and dice up about half of an onion and a few cloves of garlic. Now, if you like your onions very tiny, if you like very little onions, go for it. We like a little bite of our onion. We like the flavor of onion. So ours are going to be pretty big dices. So I'm just going to slice this all the way across, and then a few cuts this way. Now that we've got our veggies prepped, move that off to the side as well. And let's scramble some eggs. Let's go ahead and open up our bean sprouts and drain it. We're not going to use the whole can. We're probably going to use about a quarter of the can, and the rest we will just reserve. All right, it is drained. It is rinsed, and that's about how much I am going to put in it. Okay, let's get to work. We're going to put a little bit of coconut oil on our pan. Not a lot. Maybe about that much, less than half of a tablespoon. Turn this on. I am putting it on a medium. And once this pan gets nice and hot, we'll go ahead and throw our pork chops on here. Okay, this should be nice and hot. I can really feel the heat up here. So time to hear the money shot, that zzz, the sizzle. That is a sign that it is hot indeed. So we'll let this sit here for about a minute so that it can sear. And then we will flip it around so that it can cook on all sides. You see that it's getting nice and white around the edges. That means that it is nice and seared already on the opposite side and it's cooking through. So we're gonna go ahead and start stirring. So we are basically done with the pork. You'll see that it's nice and seared in several areas. So I'm going to take out the pork and then I'm going to start frying up the veggies. So the onions and the garlic so that those can retain their own flavors. We'll add a little bit more coconut oil. So you basically want to cook down your onions until they're translucent. And right before you're ready to take them out, you can throw your garlic in just for an additional minute to cook the garlic through. But really that's it. I'm not going to season this in any which way or form so that it can retain its own natural flavors. That sweet and oniony flavor. Got our garlic in. Once I take out the onions and garlic, I am going to also do the bean sprouts. Really in this case just for a couple minutes so that it cooks through. So that is it here. We'll pick up all these delicious bits from the pan, from the pork chop and the garlic. Now when I'm done with the bean sprouts, I am going to wash this pan so that it's nice and clean for the eggs, because that is next. Okay, I'll see you in a second. I'm gonna go wash this pan so that we can make some eggs in here. All right, our pan is clean. I'm actually gonna put the heat on low heat now. Once again, we're gonna add a little bit of coconut oil. Let that grease up the pan and we'll throw the eggs on there. she wrote the eggs are nice and done, totally fluffy. Next up is the cauliflower rice. I can just go ahead and cook it down on the pan and steam it, but I am gonna steam it in the microwave. The directions, I think this is 4 to 5 minutes. I usually go with 5, 4.5 to 5.5 minutes. I'm gonna steam each bag for about 5 minutes. And then once it's steamed, I am going to squeeze it to get all the water out, as much water as possible. And then I'm gonna throw it on the pan to fry it up a little bit. What you want to do is you want to cut a little slit, not too big, just a little slit so that water can drain out, right? And you're going to wrap your steamed bag in a towel because it's hot, so you don't want to burn yourself. And then you want to squeeze and let the water fall into the sink. Get rid of as much excess water as you can. Since we're going to put it on the pan, it's going to evaporate anyways, but this definitely helps speed up the process, especially if you're one that just wants to have cauliflower rice without having to pan fry it. This is a great way to release all that water. Shake it up. Let's go open this baby up and fry her. I did switch out pans because since I have 2 bags of cauliflower rice, it's just going to be too overwhelming for the pan that I was using. If you're just cooking for 2, maybe even 3, half of this portion, 1 bag of cauliflower and that 1 pork chop would have been sufficient. But I am cooking for 4 today, so we are going with a bigger pan. I'm going to go ahead and put the heat on a medium-high, let this coconut oil melt. And we'll throw in this cauliflower rice as well as season it the exact same way we season the pork chops. Onions, garlic, and pink salt. Okay, I hear this pan sizzling. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. If you want to up your flavor a little bit, like level it up, feel free to add fresh ginger when you're doing your onions and your garlic. You can also add some sesame oil at the end of this. Those are 2 things I typically do every once in a while. I'm not doing that today because I'm trying to keep it as traditional Cantonese rice as possible. So no, it's not going to have peas. No, it's not going to have carrots. But if you like that style of fried rice, feel free to buy that frozen, drain it like I did, and add as much or as little to your pan as you like. Let's go ahead and season. So we're going to start with some garlic powder, some onion powder, and remember, light on the salt because you're going to have some soy sauce in here. To decide whether you like your cauliflower rice to have a couple of little brown bits or not, because when you start seeing it turn a little brown on the pan, you can either let it keep cooking a little bit more to sort of get that fried texture, or you can go ahead and start throwing in your ingredients. I'm only going to let it cook a little bit more, literally like a minute, because I don't want all of it to brown through. Ready to join the party? Time to throw in all of these yummy ingredients. Make sure you get it all stirred up and incorporated before we throw in some soy sauce, so the rice can pick up on all of these flavors. soy sauce time, and I go with less sodium. If you're like 100% clean keto, then I don't recommend going with soy sauce. Get yourself some coconut aminos. I personally am okay with this. So this is just our flavor preference. I'm not gonna go heavy on it while it's cooking because everybody can have the option to add a little bit more to their plate depending on how heavy with soy sauce they like it or not. And that is it, y'all. Now it's just time to serve and garnish. So here is a close-up of the pork fried rice. Let's go ahead and add some green onions and go in for a taste test. Bon appetit. How easy was that? So easy. I know there's a lot of little steps, but they're fast. I promise you they're fast and so worth it. Let's go ahead and give this baby a taste test. I'm confident it's gonna be good. But I actually have never done the pork fried rice by itself before. I've done pork and chicken. I've done shrimp and ham. I've done ham by itself, shrimp by itself. So pork by itself, this will be a new flavor profile for me. Got a bite with everything there. Got some eggs, got some, what is that? Bean sprouts, got a piece of pork going on in. I don't know. I just told Lou, I'm like, I'm really not that hungry right now, but I'm gonna have a bite for our viewers. But my God, after having that one bite, this is good, y'all. I wouldn't mind putting a little bit more soy on the top, but this is perfect. And the pork is cut to like the perfect size because you don't have to worry about sitting at the table with a fork and a knife. This is a quick and easy meal to eat. The little caramelized onions give it an extra little sweet flavor, a little bite and sweetness. It's awesome. I hope you guys give this a try. Again, super easy, super quick, and you can do this anywhere, whether it's your house, your apartment, or your RV. Happy cooking, happy Friday. No, happy Foodie Friday. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up. Comment down below what you think about my recipe, any modifications that you would make. Would you try this? And once you're done commenting down below, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. We hope you join our YouTube community. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you soon. Bye guys.